Age wrinkles the body. Quitting wrinkles the soul. General Douglas MacArthur. My friends, we never quit. We continue to push through, because I tell you, the number one determinant on whether you're going to master these charts is the absolute assurity in your spirit that you will never quit until you figure this out. And you can do it. All you have to do is stick with it. And I tell everybody, if you stick with this long enough and you are determined from the beginning to understand it, doesn't matter how long it takes, because once you get to the point that you have mastered the markets, guess what? You will pay for all the time you ever spent. So stay with it. You can do this. Look at these charts. How difficult is it to get in, ride this beautiful red to green to red to green to red? How hard is that? And let me tell you what we're going to focus on. You guys know, first thing we focused on was volume. I just did that volume training a few weeks ago for you. Then I went to Heikin-Ashi candlesticks. And then over the weekend, as promised, I provided you guys with the trend line training. The next one is going to be on entry points. Why? Because we know our exit points, don't we? We use this little predictive tool over here, right here, under prediction and measurement tools. We use for long trades, that is trades going up, we use the long position. For short trades, we use the short position. We have that ATR training, average true range training, for you over there already. This is what those look like when you put them on the charts and set them up. And they are easy to set up and easy to use. And they take the getting out of a trade easy. When you set one ATR on the 2-day chart for your loss band after your getting in point, and either 2 ATRs for getting out, or you sell half your position at 1 ATR up or down, depending on the direction you're trading in, and you let the rest ride. How hard is that? It's not hard. How do you do this? You practice each and every day, and you get it down. It doesn't cost you anything but 10 to 15 minutes of your time. Let's jump into these charts. Stocks are up, along with gold and Bitcoin. And the only downer for the day is 20-year bonds. Now let's see where things are. We have a downtrend in progress, do we not? On the S&P 500. We can see on the 2-day chart, we're below that trend line. And on the half-day chart, we are below that trend line. Was up 0.96% for the day, starting the week off with a doji there on the weekly chart. You can see it. Now again, because of the way we have our volume set up on this chart, let me show you the settings. The way I have the volume set up, I have chosen to base the color on the previous close. Now if you watch right here, probably when I take this off, it'll go to red. Yes, see how it went to red? Now it's back to green. So I chose to base the color on the previous close, okay? So that means it's up some from the previous close. I just did that just as a little forewarning. Doesn't mean as much because we're still a little bit in the red there. Now this may change this week because of this high volume. We could have reached the low and found the most recent bottom here. So we will pay close attention. Could be also that they're trying to shake us off out of the continued down movement. So we'll see. We'll watch, wait and see. But we are starting the week off up 0.96% for the day. Now, we'll pay attention to that. If we start blowing through the 2-day trend line and through the half-day trend line, and this candle goes to green, and things continue to up in volume, that'll tell us a lot. We may have seen the volume bounce at the bottom here. So we're just one day in. We'll see how this goes. Now, the NASDAQ 100, again, has popped up because, again, of the way that the Heikin-Ashi calculation is. What is the Heikin-Ashi calculation? The open is the average of the Heikin-Ashi close and open of the prior candle. So that's about in the center of that doji. And then what is the Heikin-Ashi close? Well, it's the high open low close divided by 4, averaged. So that is what we see being reflected in this candle, bouncing off the 30 EMA. Now, we may have a ceiling right either here or here, either here or here, depending. We can see where on the high here, we've hit that twice. And again, if we pop up to here, that may be where things are going to blow out. If they blow past this, and we'll go ahead just for good measure, you've seen us do this on some others, we will put a horizontal line in here. We'll drop it in right there. Remember, we keep ours colored purple, the color purple. It may be there, it may be, let me bring that down to here. It may be here because you can see we've tapped that, going on potentially 3 times close to that line. So we'll see. Maybe we'll get a bounce off during the week. Maybe it'll blow through. Maybe it'll top out where it peaked here, although I think that's less doubtful than perhaps the line we've drawn on here. So we'll pay close attention to that as we go through the week. If we see things bounce off that and stream down, and those of you who are Patreon members, you know from the studies that I do with you on the 3-wave trades, I've started putting those out the last few weeks. I use these horizontal lines a lot for potential ceilings and also for floors. That means it's an area of price where the movement up tends to stop on a ceiling, down tends to stop on a floor. So we'll keep that in mind as we go through this week. We'll keep an eye on all of that. So again, NASDAQ 100 not up a lot for the day. That green candle shows, again, a lot of change and acceleration. And remember how Heikin-Ashi candlesticks are, in fact, calculated. And we've got that great training. I'll stick it at the end of today's video for you also, along with the training that I put out over the weekend on trend lines. I think you'll get a lot out of both of those. Keep in mind, understand that Heikin-Ashi calculation. So when you look at those candles, you really understand what they are telling you. They really help you see the average pace, and they take out all of that price flux that can be so confusing. Now, let's look at where we are on 20-year bonds. I was using this in the training yesterday. Let's put this in here in the right place. We'll update as to where we are. We can see that bonds were down for the day 0.88%, but does that affect the trend? We are still above on the 2-day and even above. You can see down in the morning, a little further down in the afternoon, still above on the half day also. So again, because of the kind of calculation we're doing, the volume is starting off in the red, so we will pay attention to that, see where it takes us as the week moves on. What about gold? Man, gold just can't get enough moving up, can it? Just a little bit for the day at the end, 0.04%. And we can see again where the real high happened on Friday, and then we had about the same in the morning, same in the afternoon. So again, up 0.04% for the day, but that's a nice candle starting to move. We do hope it's going to move above that high from last week. What about Bitcoin? Well, you can take a look at Bitcoin. It is up for the day 3.98%. And again, popping up to where it started the down move back here. One of the series of down moves, sort of where it bottomed. You can see where it bottomed in mid to late May, well, all the way through May, and then slid sideways and then cranked down from there. So again, we'll keep an eye on things, see if Bitcoin continues to move. It has pushed through that 30-period exponential moving average. It stayed around for quite a while. And again, being able to track it accurately is going to be exceedingly important. Let's see, as some of these banking issues continue, is Bitcoin going to be able to pick up some of that slack? So we'll wait, watch, and see what we learn from Bitcoin as we continue to move through time. That is where we are, folks. So appreciate you being with us. You have questions, problems, concerns. We always love to hear from you. Please feel free to comment in the YouTube videos if you happen to be tuning in on YouTube. And if you really like what we do and you want to support our work, remember, things tend to stay around that you support. We sure appreciate all of the Patreon help. And what do you get for that? Well, you get things like that what we call it, the three-wayed trades, things that I'm actually looking at, the weekly vertical crossovers, you get the charting cryptos and commodities, and you get all, and the 3-part series, Options Made Simple, the Charting Wealth Way. If you're interested in options and practice trading those, we have a great training, 3-part series, got nothing but up thumbs for that. That also at any of the 3 levels of Patreon support, you get it. Thank you so much, my friends. God bless. All the best from the whole team at Charting Wealth World Headquarters.